going live. And it's always interesting to see what colors that the camera does with what I'm wearing. It always blows my mind. Okay, I'm Suzanne Titcomb. I wrote for Pathos for almost 10 years, a blog called No Longer Quivering about the religious, quiverful movement in evangelical Christianity. Hit like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Don't bully anybody. And these are just my opinions, but hey, these are my opinions. Hey, Grace. Hey, Ranghild. Got to pronounce it right. I don't know how to do that. Kara, Christine, Laura. It has been one of those weeks. I mean, one of those weeks where I have to talk about that troll over and over and over and over again because she's done so many crazy things. I would honestly rather be talking about Costa Rica and other things. But like being startled by a naked senior citizen breakdancing in the middle of an intersection would get talked about again and again. We got to talk about her. Love my grands. Happy Monday to yourself, Shaylin. Saturdays. Hey, everybody. It has been Saturdays. I know how that is. It has been, and it's one of those days. It's a crazy day. I just want to say it, throw that out there. We were supposed to go this morning to Liberia to test drive the 3 or 4 cars that we have decided we want and figure out which one of them buy it tomorrow. We didn't realize that today in Costa Rica is Guanacaste Day. We live in the state of Guanacaste. Today is the day that almost 200 years ago that Guanacaste got to be part of Costa Rica instead of Nicaragua, because there were in those days still horrible things going on with Nicaragua and rebellious. So we're not going to be able to do that today. And I have a big sad because I've been trying to buy this car since Friday when the money should have been in our account. So if I seem a little frazzled, that's what the hell is going on. Hey, Shelly, R, and Carol. So here I am. I'm getting ready to go to Liberia anyway. We're going to look through the window of these places and hit PriceSmart. We have to do our Costco run. So this may not be as long as usual. What the heck? Okay. You know that I think that troll, Katie Joy, is kind of the epic fail. You know that about me. You know I've talked about her so many times on this channel. I've talked about how I worked with her and how I see her doing all these bad things. But yeah, Christine, his attorney must be pulling his hair out. Well, he probably didn't know how crazy she is and some of the stuff she's done. And she has done a capacious buttload of stuff the last couple of days, the last week. This whole Marvin McRae thing has just been insane. I mean, it's a tragic story. He tried to kill himself. She alleged his wife tried to kill him, tried to say she got him full of kratom and strangled him. So that was the first thing she did that was weird. Then she started spamming the family, the parents, and trying to get in with them to hear the inside scoop. Because you know her, she's always claiming she has insider information, and she rarely does. Tired of without a box of Kleenex. So am I. I am so tired of her. But this morning I discovered a more tiring thing than I'm tired of, more tired than her ridiculousness and her trying to get a refund on her GoFundMe that she sent to the mother of Marvin so that she could travel to where Marvin is and see him. She had a $500 donation and she insisted that they refund it. She made GoFundMe refund it to her. And she claimed that there was fraud going on. Here's the thing. If there really was fraud going on, you and I know that GoFundMe would take that thing down in a second. She's had GoFundMes pulled down because they've been fraudulent. I think the troll may be taking credit on herself. Carol K., I have wondered why she's not doing medicinals, because finally marijuana is legal in her state and she should be able to walk in and buy a pile of edibles anywhere. And she's been acting so crazy lately. I almost wonder what the hell's going on with the whine and what is it they call her sometimes? Adderall Annie, some people have called her. I don't know. But last night apparently was some wine-fueled madness. The money was not cashed out for it to be fraud. It was not used, so she misled GoFundMe to get a refund. Erica, I believe that's the truth of the matter there. I don't understand how in hell she still has a platform. Shaylin, I don't either. I don't have a clue how she still has a platform at all. Hey, Kira. But it's pretty nutty, some of the things that she said and done. So granted, there's that. She's gone over the deep end. The problem is the same problem we were having during the Tati Westbrook thing. I think people are starting to make stuff up and they're starting to insert themselves where they don't belong. I'm not calling out Molly Golightly because Molly is going to do what Molly wants. Molly found out what all the rest of us know, that how messy and lying that troll is. And she has been talking about it because that troll has gone out of her way to attack Molly so many times. So I have nothing against Molly. I think Molly should go for it. Kind of hope she sues her, adds another lawsuit to this whole non mess. She is wild. So this morning, a girlfriend of mine on Facebook, somebody I know through NLQ, through No Longer Quivering, posted a message on somebody else's Facebook wall and tagged me. Yes, she has been doing that. She has been. She's been deleting all kinds of things. Yeah, I'm hoping that all this, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say, where I'm going with all this, is we don't need to be making crap up again. The stuff she does is so incredibly egregious, so awful that there shouldn't be any making up or extrapolating, but I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to get afraid again. Okay, this morning somebody tagged me in a Facebook post, and it was a Facebook post of Mrs. Cartman Crane is the name. Mrs. Cartman Crane apparently, hey Bliss, is apparently part of the Justice for Vaughn thing. Hey DJ, good to see you. So Mrs. Cartman Crane has been going crazy on the Justice for Vaughn site on Facebook, that group. And she's been posting stuff like, she posted Unirock like that was real. And I was like horrified. I was like, because it was something going after Tina. And I know Tina pretty well. Hey, Prairie. And Tina hasn't done, I mean, not even a tenth of what has been alleged. So she was posting stuff like Unicock, Punicock, is that what they call him? So she's crazy enough. We don't need to embellish it. You're absolutely right, Prairie. But there's some embellishment going on here. And Mrs. Cartman Crane is actually doing some of that. She posted the video of KJ talking about her church experience, and she was kind of making fun of it a little bit. It's the same video where KJ carried out, she said my story that had been long since posted, where she plagiarized everything I'd been through that one time. Erica, some of the stuff I'm seeing coming out of her, and everybody's telling me that's where she's from, and that she's from all these all these Facebook communities, and she keeps getting busted out of them. Yeah, so when I saw she was promoting Unirock, and the biggest one for me that really blew my mind, besides the fact that she just seems like she's got a hate boner for Katie, which is easy enough to understand. A lot of us do. There's a lot of stuff going on. The one that blew my mind is one that everybody had been promoting relentlessly this morning on YouTube and on Twitter. It was about KJ's the fundraiser that Marvon Sr. has going, being fraudulent, that it being Katie who was collecting all that money and passing it on, and not passing it on, but keeping it to herself. Erica, I'm going to tell you something about her. She has posted some things that are very untrue. I kind of laughed when I saw them. She has turned off. She has turned off all of her. But if I am falsely accusing Mrs. Cartman Crane, I am sorry, but it does look like she is some kind of embellishing troll. It really does look like that from here. Particularly after I saw the claims that she made that KJ was taking all this money from the GoFundMe, that it was Katie doing it. I haven't seen any real receipts of that. If I see real receipts of that, I believe it. But for somebody that I've never heard of before to jump in there and start saying, Katie's getting all the money, I have it verified. Well, if you can't share the screen caps from the family that's verified it or whatever, then I'm going to take that with an enormous group of salt, because I've been there, done that too many times. Hey, Gingerly, I'm just sick to death when people start doing this stuff. Erica, I've seen no proof of that. Until I see proof, I'm going to say, well, maybe, and set that off to the side. I've just seen too many times in this community, going back to the original Tati Westbrook lawsuit, that KJ, what she does is bad enough. And then we had trolls jumping in and making it worse. The biggest troll of all, Nat Kennett, who jumped in, inserted herself to the point where she gave a fake declaration to Mr. Saltz, Tati Westbrook's attorney. She also tried to send everybody and their brother porn and all kinds of death threats and things. She tried to have Salty swatted. The video is posted with the posy. Katie admitted it, so why aren't they sharing the video? I haven't seen it. Okay, I'll have to take a more look. Okay, flat earth question. Is it possible that KJ is annoying people on purpose so she can claim her lawsuits? She lost subscribers. I mean, both lawsuits are near. Vedrana, that is an interesting thought. You know, I still think she was behind Natalie Kennett. You will never convince me otherwise, because Natalie popped up at exactly the right moment of her lawsuit with Tati Westbrook and threw enough dirt so that everyone and their brother started doubting everything. You know, I know people now that think that Salty is awful. He's not. He's a very nice man who was misled by Natalie Kennett and others. Does anybody remember the Lorianne declaration? All of these people have been throwing dirt and trash and coming up with all these different explanations for everything, and they make up stuff about Katie, and that bothers me. Let's stick to facts, what we can show. I mean, what she does that we can show is awful enough. If she wants to claim she lost subscribers, she should stop buying them. Laura, oh my gosh, yes. So I'm going to have to dig a little farther on this, Erica, because I don't really know for sure. I just saw this morning what she was doing and saying, including taking that video where Katie completely plagiarized my entire story of joining and leaving my fundamentalist, quiverful evangelical church. She completely, I mean, word for word, almost from my own descriptions. I feel she was involved with Natalie Kennett in the very beginning on a small level, and it got way out of KJ's control. That could be too, Gingerly. The problem is that some of these things we just have no idea and no way to prove. It's okay to say, hey, I think this might be going on. It's not okay to say, hey, this is going on for sure. I know it. I can't prove it, but I know it. Do all the YouTube things. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I said it at the beginning, but you know me. I'm too ADD to say those things. But I wasn't going to do a video at all this morning because, like I said, I should be in Liberia buying a new car right now. And I'm not going to, because Costa Rica is different. They close for every holiday. The dealerships close. Now, I'll tell you, I sold cars in college, and later I sold cars for about a 6-month period. And let me tell you, in the States, I don't close for anything. You show up on the days when everybody else is off, and like a guy standing where the fish are running, trying to catch them in the net. It's what you do, but not here. Mrs. Cartman Crane is exposing Katie's. Here's the thing, Erica. I've been around this community a long time. I've been around Katie for a long time. I trained her at Pathos. I worked with her at Pathos for a year. So I know a lot of the things that people like. When people try to say that her child is not sick, that's a bunch of bull. I know for a fact he is. Now, how sick he is, I've told people I don't know. I can't really make that determination. So you'll never hear me say on this, oh, that child is perfectly well and she's holding him down, blah, blah, blah. I do remember her saying that the doctor wanted to try to eat food, but she didn't want to do it because she might lose her funding from the state of Minnesota. I do remember her saying that in the past to me. But at the same time, you know, the other day I read all of her tweets, all the things she said to me about Sherelle and about Steve McCrae. And those are things I can verify she said, and she did. I can verify she got fired from Pathos. I saw the emails, the nasty ones between her and the managing director. I saw them. They exist. They were nasty. Everything was said. So I just want to just say, let's try to be, if you share something that is unverified, I don't care who gives it out, at least say, hey, I don't have any proof of this. This may be a rumor. And why is that important? Well, look at what Katie has done with the Duggars. She took a bunch of stuff that I told her that I had gotten from Duggar, unnamed Duggar insiders, those people in the Duggar group that there's no way to verify. So I never used them in No Longer Quivering. I never did. But I told Katie, hey, I heard this. I don't know how true it is. And she used it all against the Duggars. She used it as content, and she's still using it as content. When she says, this Duggar is gay, she got that from some things that unnamed Duggar insiders told me that I shared with her and said, hey, this may be true, but I can't verify it. Can a YouTube creator really buy subs? Yes, DJ, you could buy subs. And it's mostly really unethical people that want to drive their sub counts way, way up. Subscribers, followers, and comments. Exactly. You can buy all of that. You would be surprised at what you can buy out there. So that's why I don't do things like I don't have things like paid followers, all that. It's just ridiculous. You know, this for me is just a hobby. It's something I rattle on about. I like to rattle on about religion because I'm writing my book, but it's not this is not my bread and butter, and it never will be. And I'll never try to make it that because I'm retired, number one. I already have enough retirement income coming in to live comfortably. Hell, we're getting ready to do the thing that blew my mind when I was 13, when I was with my grandparents. Walk into a dealership and pay cash for a car. When I was a kid, I thought that was the most baller move I had ever seen. So it's kind of like this, you know, I quit having anything to do with Reddit, the Without a Crystal Ball Reddit, a long time ago, because there are people that when they leave Katie, when they quit following her and they flip to the other side, they go too far. They start making crap up again. They take things, they extrapolate it out all the way. They do that. Yeah, Gingerly. I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe it, but we are. We've saved a lot of money living here too. It's much cheaper for everything. So cars are almost twice as much. If she is buying sub, then it might explain why sub numbers are so much higher than her viewers. DJ, if you compare her chat numbers and her comment numbers versus viewer numbers, it's pretty easy to realize it's just a lot of bots following her and a lot of paid for subscribers. So there's that. becomes, and I don't think people always ask me, you think KJ is doing this for money? I used to think that, but now I don't think so. As I said yesterday, I think that they are for her, it is filling her tank. It's strokes, it's compliments, it's all of that. Whenever I see somebody that is so wedded to the idea of another person being so perfect, I start questioning that person on many levels, because no one is perfect. Everybody does stupid stuff. I do stupid stuff all day long. Erica Moreno. Before the Duggars, she was dragging the Chrisleys to the dirt. Yes, yes. She wrote about the Chrisleys quite a bit towards the end of her time at Pathos, and I believe that may have been one of the things that kind of kicked it off. Those YouTubers are becoming the thing they hate. Some of them are, Laura. Some of them are. And I find that disturbing. Like I said, I think when you have people that have not heard of Katie, that number of views, it's number of views. Number of views will get you your dollar amount, not number of subscribers. But she was chasing that almighty silver award, that YouTube play button. And that's when she started buying. Needs to feel respected despite her inability to respect others. That's it. And she really wants the strokes and the approval, everything. She wants to be complimented. I saw that hard when I worked with her at Pathos, because she was always complaining about our managing editor, Dale McCowan, who was complimenting the Friendly Atheist. He was complimenting Andrew Hall. He was complimenting various people. And she would complain to me that he never complimented her. And it's like, why are you writing? If you're writing to get compliments, you are writing for all the wrong damn reasons. She's the most hated person on social media. I hate the word hate, but she is. You're right. She's dragged every person in every story she's ever done. She's not a reporter. She's a drama channel. Inserts herself in everything she commentates on. She can't stop her narcissistic self. I wonder why she doesn't display her play button. She used to. I don't know where it's gone. I have no clue. Maybe they took it back for all we know. I don't know. But I told Chrisley he should go after the play button and the channel. Demand those as settlement. Just demand them. Say, this is non-negotiable. If I win, this is what I want. That would be me if I were suing her. Hey, Hermes mom. But I haven't seen anything worse than some of the new people that come out of the woodworks that hate her, because they're the ones that are coming up with the falsities and taking little things and making them huge. Like I said, I try to stick to stuff that I know for sure. It took a while to get caught up on her lies. I believed her for over a year. I feel so stupid. DJ, I feel stupid. You think you feel stupid? I worked with her. I knew she was capable of petty. I'd seen it hardcore many times, but I never saw her that way. I knew she was problematic, but I didn't know how problematic. I thought it was just her weird quirks, her personality. She really wanted to be complimented more than anything else. And I thought that was as far as it went. I had no idea about a lot of the stuff until Steve McRae kindly put me in the picture. I'm looking forward to trials too. Number one, I'm thinking about going to at least one of them. I demand the same. Yeah, I would too. I don't think Todd Chrisley will prevail in court. I do think 7M has a better chance. Laura, I think you're right. She does enough on her own to dislike. No need to stoop to her level and lie and exaggerate. Bliss, that's exactly right. That's what I'm going for. We all believed her and enjoyed her at one time. I don't think everybody did, but I think a lot of people did. She gets away with fooling people. She tries to be nice for a little while until you catch on to it, or like Sue Elliott or Carolyn Ironwheel. She turns on you and is publicly nasty to you on her channel. What KJ is doing now is beyond what I ever thought she would do. She has a whole new side of evil. Exactly, Brianna. I'm shocked by what she's doing. She has 3 lawsuits against her. You would think she would stop. Todd is also suing her. Then she lied about Lindsay Chrisley and how they were best friends. If you go to Chrisley Confessions, Todd has her down to a T. I know. I've listened to Chrisley Confessions. He does. He knows what she's capable of. He talked to so many of us who've dealt with her for a long time. And that's funny because she has threatened us, said, I'm going to subpoena you that you talked to Todd Chrisley. He says, bitch, yes, I talked to Todd Chrisley. I told him my story. I told him what you've done to me. And that was before I knew about the hardcore plagiarization that was going on, that she was taking my content and using it on her website as hers. I wish the thing was filled with tequila. I wish I could drink tequila. This would all be easier if I had some tequila in me. So she was saying the other day about drunken YouTubers that were making up stuff about her. It ain't no drunken YouTuber doing that. It's not. Don't you think all think that it's only a matter of time she loses her child? I think so, DJ, but I think it's going to take I think it's going to take a lawsuit being successful for that to happen. Prairie, do it. Subpoena me. Prairie, you and me both. Like I said, I'm tempted to go to the trial just so I can hang out with you. We can hang out together there and just giggle and laugh and carry on whenever court is not in session. Though we'd have to be doing like this during the trial, because I have a feeling it is going to bring the laughs. It is going to bring the laughs. And Chrisley has her number, and he's loaded for bear. He may have a mild case, a weak case. It doesn't have a lot of, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, with her and him. He's not going to back down. He's not going to settle. Even if he's behind bars for his federal tax thing, he is not going to settle. It's going to be a cluster. Oh, so I wish he would subpoena me, because like you said, Prairie, travel expenses paid. Oh, hell, I have never been to Minnesota. I need a Minnesota thimble for my thimble collection. So subpoena me so I can travel and get a thimble and get my husband a coffee cup. He likes travel coffee cups, like this stupid one from Hell, Michigan that he just bought me, which I am laughing over. It is just it. Hey, KJ, I'm emailing Todd about you. Please. Hell, Michigan that he just bought me, which I am laughing over. It is just it. Hey, KJ, I'm emailing Todd about you. Please subpoena me. No, he's not going to back down. He's going to see this all the way through. I did unsub to her. I refuse to give her a click. I won't watch her because of that. I'll wait until Llama Girl to see the worst of it. I'm not for cancel culture, but honestly, the thing she does hurt people. She's hurting people, and she doesn't even care. That's the problem. She has piled so much more hurt on the McRae family than human beings should ever have to go through while their child is dealing with a traumatic brain injury. I mean, and to lie about it, to say he was brain dead when he wasn't brain dead. You don't come back from brain dead and squeeze someone's hand and speak a few words to them. You don't. There's no coming back from that. So many lies were told. Just made quiverful recipe loaded. So, oh, Prairie, I do that too sometimes. I did it in the States. Here, I don't do it as much. Thank you, Renelle. I am trying. I got to go to Costco, and I got to go gaze through a closed dealership window at the car I want to go buy. So I better look good. Oh, that troll is doing the family is super effed up. Yes. What she is doing is awful. That's the thing I can't get over, especially having had a child with chronic illnesses. I've been there, done that. I didn't do it as hardcore and as long as she did, but my youngest was quite ill most of her childhood. And I know that pain. That is a terrible pain. My father, like I said, he had a massive stroke, was brain dead. I know that terrible pain too, the pain felt by family members when you've got that going on. And it's awful. She's just making it awful for the family. She's hurting them. She's hurt Dre, whatever Dre may or may not have done. She's hurt Dre's and Marvon's children because they have to deal with this now. This yammering individual who's saying all this horrible stuff about their family. That's still their grandmother, their grandfather, Marvon Jr.'s mother, father, stepmother. These are people that love him. They're having to deal with this nonsense day after day after day. And I'm just like, unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm late. I remember seeing the notification. It was, yeah, documentary. Yeah, I know how that goes. I've stayed up too late recently looking at documentaries and things. Does she make money off of Facebook? Number one fan, you can. I don't know if you have to reach a certain threshold. Right around the time that I shut down NLQ, when I quit writing for Pathos, I got a thing from Facebook saying, congratulations, you now qualify to make money from your no longer quivering page. Now, what that looks like, how much is, I don't know, because I got into it with Vicki Garrison not long after I shut it down, and she threw me out of all the no longer quivering Facebook accounts. So any money that goes to that goes to her. I have heard her many times say with a laugh that she does not care if other creators talk about me because it only drives viewers to my channel. I have heard her say similar things. There's no reason to bring up things to the family's past. There's absolutely no reason. There's no reason. Not even the fact that his father may not be able to come because of legal issues. You can't bring that stuff up. Bossy, I am sorry that you feel that way about Facebook. I love Facebook for the most part. Yeah, Prairie, it didn't end well with Vicki because Vicki started trying to work me for more money and wanted to do fundraisers and various things. And I saw she had 7 GoFundMes going at the same time. And I just said, no, I noped out. I was like, no, because Cindy Kunzman is a close friend of mine. She still is. We talk frequently, who wrote for NLQ. And she told me what Vicki did. And I'm going to throw another one out there that Vicki did for her cash cow status, because Vicki and KJ have that in common, that they both want money, money, money. Vicki charged people to run their pieces on No Longer Quivering before I took over. I had no idea about that. She collected quite a bit of money off people by saying she was going to set up the Take Heart Foundation. So many things that she collected money for that she never followed through on, that went straight into her pocket. To show off pics, I said, it's not worth it, Mom. You're already on BP meds. Oh, Bossy, I don't have that many people on my Facebook page. And I'm funny about who I allow because of that. She's got to have neighbors. She has to go grocery shopping. She hasn't been to one appointment with her kid. Yeah, I wonder about that. I can imagine being in a coma, waking up and seeing what this woman has done to my family when I wasn't able to defend them or say anything. Disgusting. Bliss, that's what I keep thinking about too. I keep thinking about the fact that these people are not public figures. Todd Chrisley is a public figure, okay? Todd Chrisley is well known, and she's talking about him. That's one thing when you're going after celebrities. It's a whole different ballgame when you start going after people who are just average people trying to live their lives. Oh, yeah. She did that, Brary. She charged people money. She charged Cindy money to post her pieces. I heard more and more about that. Oh, Erica, I'm glad. Exploitation. Yes. KJ's only family has in their past. Yeah. She go ballistic if people talked about them the way, especially the brother-in-law who supposedly has done CA. I think that would be CSA. Blow everybody's mind. Yeah, I hope the coma guy goes after KJ for everything when he wakes up. I hope so too. Because it would be, and like I said, there's no need to make crap up because there's already so much. And what she's done to the whole Marvon McCray family is disgusting and stupid. And now I feel exhausted and I got to go buy groceries. Silly, silly, silly me. Her harping about violence and criminal past of a Black family kind of reinforces her being a bit racist. Well, I'd say it's more than a bit. I think she's probably quite racist at this point, but she takes care to hide it. I've heard her make racist kind of statements in the past, but like quasi, like stuff like, I can't be racist. I have a Black friend. Those soft racist remarks, I've seen that. I feel like KJ just keeps escaping her karma. Hopefully, it catches up with her soon. Brianna, karma gets everybody eventually. I'm just going to say that. You can only ride so long on bad stuff before it catches up with you. Look at what happened to Jeffrey Epstein and others that for years were doing this crap and they got caught. A month ago, I dislocated my kneecap. Oh, Ginger Lee. I've been in and out of braces, crutches. I was starting to have some improvements. Ginger, it's really slow sometimes with that stuff. I know. Not that I endorse it, I don't, but KJ deserves the beatdown of a lifetime for what she's done to Marvon and so many others. Perry, I said yesterday, and I stand by this, and she's taking it as a threat. She said it's a death threat. It's not a death threat. I said that there are people out there that you just don't mess with. If you start messing with them, you may bring the wrath of the mafia or God knows who down on yourself. And it would be worse than a beatdown. They may actually take you out in the desert, one to the head, and bury you in a trench. So she needs to be very careful who it is she's going after. It hasn't happened yet, but I am predicting at some point we're going to see a murder that takes place because somebody was yarping on and on YouTube about somebody else. Brianna, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I tried to help her, and that's what she did to me. Think about that one for a minute. Not that I endorse it. Yeah, so karma is sharpening her sword. I believe that is so, Prairie. And I think the 7M lawsuit might be the ultimate in karma. I don't think it's going to play out well. I think all the crap that she's pulling now is going to come out in court. It's going to be used in these lawsuits. I have a feeling. And I agree, the knee is a long one to heal. So feel better, Ginger Lee. She has to be embarrassed, or maybe not. Someone needs to sit her down and make her watch herself. Erica, I don't think she's capable of that. When you have these narcissistic tendencies, you tend to live in here. You tend to not listen to anybody else. How many times have people tried to warn her about things that she has blown them off that we've seen on her live streams? It's been quite a few times. And she is one of these people that has such cognitive biases that her cognitive bias is that she is always right. Always. She never admits. You really have to be a person that admits when you're wrong. You know, I'm one of those people. The other Erica came in here and was saying that I was completely wrong about Mrs. Cartman Crane. And I'm willing to say I'm going to look at that more and maybe I'm wrong. But anytime anybody makes those kind of allegations and they don't show 100% proof, I'm going to view them suspiciously. That's just how I am. She has no self-awareness. That's exactly right, Laura. That's the problem. TT ain't any danger for me or Suzanne, but I worry for her that she is going to mess with someone and not know who she's getting wrapped up with. Stir up that person's anger is not wise. Prairie, that's what I'm worried about. That's the thing I'm worried about. As much as I hate the things she's done to me and the things she continues to do to everybody, I don't wish any of that on her. I don't wish any kind of physical harm. I don't want her to live in a refrigerator box under the interstate. I don't want that at all. I want her to wake up and realize what she's done and just stop doing it. That would be the biggest, best thing. But I don't see that ever happening because she has cognitive biases. She only sees what she wants to see. She has no compassion that I can discern. Nothing, just ridiculousness. She quit going after Scientology, Angela Barrett, and she never explained why. I can guarantee it was because those people are scary. They will come after you with death threats and other stuff. That's why I didn't write about them in NLQ ever, because they weren't Christian, number one. Yeah, what she did to all things sassy was terrible. But Scientologists and Christians, so I don't look at them. Somehow, it's easier disagreeing in court when things go away. I can see that too. We know that suffering won't fix KJ. No, she has to develop self-awareness. Will always look at things with suspicion until it's proven fact. That person didn't have to be so rude coming in here. Bliss, notice I didn't ban her, I didn't block her. And I said, when you were so fixated on one person to that point that you are going into others' live streams to defend them and say, this person is perfect, they're blah, 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 I am automatically going to think you're a brainwashed minion of that person. I'm not going to take everything you're saying as serious as calling, whatever. Molly said Friday show, Vaughn's mom live chat sometime today or this evening. Should be interesting. So that would be interesting. And I would like to be on live chat and see Vaughn's mom. I don't think she can gain self-awareness. She almost lost everything over Tati and it didn't sink in. Well, I think because they settled, they made it worse. They made her worse. If they'd have continued on and sued her and got everything, she might have learned some self-awareness. But she has all the hallmarks of somebody who was abused as a child as far as some of her behavior. Because if you're raised like veal in a box, sometimes you don't develop empathy, you don't develop kindness, you don't know how to do friendship. There's so many just red flags up there so I'm just like afraid for her at this point. If KJ had done this to the cartel, she would already be missing. Yes, she'd be in a trench in the desert with a bullet in her head. Or they would hurt, maim, kill, sell her child. She needs to stop and think about her actions and how they're affecting her family. I agree. And she also needs to step away from the internet and concentrate on her family. I did not sign that. I don't do petitions. It's like Todd Chrisley's class action lawsuit. I don't sign for that stuff because I know in reality that YouTube or whatever doesn't take that stuff seriously. Now, what they do take seriously, I've been told, is if you write a physical letter and mail it to their legal team, which I'm about to do, because I want her to pull down the thing where she plagiarized me, where she clearly plagiarized me. And striking her, apparently putting in a complaint to YouTube has not worked. So I want that thing down. And if I have to write a physical letter to the legal team to make that happen, I will do it. Yeah. The Lone Wanderer's bunker. Yeah. To the legal team at YouTube, Jan. They have a legal team. You can write to them. You can write them a physical letter and say, hey, this person is impacting me this way. And I think that you should I think you should look at her channel. I wouldn't even say pull down channel. I just want her to pull down the pieces that she's plagiarized me on, that she's openly plagiarized me on. And I know darn good and well they're not going to pull them all down. Yet she tells everybody I'm insane. And yeah, I was insane for trying to support her when she worked at Pathos. I was insane for spending all that time talking to her. I should have just told her to piss up a rope and gone on. How many times did she get away with all the illegal things she does? Brianna, I don't know. I do not know. As far as I'm concerned, she really needs to step up and develop some self-awareness and realize how she's coming across to everybody and what's going to happen in the long run. That's one thing I know about life, is there are always consequences to your actions. And if you're doing bad actions, eventually it's going to catch up with you. I almost started this talking about a game that, a game that I used to like to play that it taught me some things about life. There's a game I used to play my iPhone all the time, and I played it on my iPad, called Exploding Kittens. You can get the game in a card form too. My kids play it all the time. But I used to play it a lot online and on the app. And here's the thing. Something important I learned from that game: don't be a dick. It's kind of like Uno, but squirrely bits thrown in. When you're playing online, you're playing cooperatively in a team of 6 people. And there's always, she has called me psychotic, and I'm not psychotic. So you're playing in this game with 6 people. Usually you'll have one person that pops up, the oatmeal, that pops up who's a dick. And they start attacking everybody and using their attack cards, and they just start after everybody in the game. So what happens is people that do that, everyone else in the team bands together and they get them pushed out. They make sure they get the exploding kitten. I've seen that happen again and again and again, that if you play nice and you don't go after people and you play a certain way, you can win the game. And I think it's a good analogy for life in general and for this, that if you play like an asshole, you get squashed like an asshole eventually. Yeah, I'm the psychotic stalker, according to her, but I'm also, she called me her best friend forever. So, Susanna Anderson, that's what she spoke about, Prairie. For those of you who don't know who Susanna Anderson is, she's the wife of Stephen Anderson, who runs Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona, who is on the Southern Poverty Law Center's list of hate groups because he has done and said so many awful things. Misery loves company, friends forever, best friends. So couldn't keep her friend, her life depended upon it. She stabs her work friend. She was somebody I worked with. It was Stephen Anderson's birthday yesterday. It was 41. I saw that because I was upset because it was a friend's birthday. It was Big Joe's birthday, a friend of my husband's. That is pretty crazy, Prairie, that was one of the words that you use a lot. Susanna Anderson. She also has a blog called Are They All Yours? And she's got some really great recipes on there. She has some good homeschooling tips. That's what's truly horrible about the whole thing with her. If she has her moments, I think, I could like her. I could be friends with her. But then she goes and posts this whole rant about vaccines. And I'm like, oh, no. How could anyone say that to you? Well, I like to think I'm an amazing woman, but I got days where I'm less than amazing. But at least, like I said, it's one thing I've learned in life. Issue apologies when you're wrong. I looked at oh yeah, it was her dead child. 41 years old and banned in 41 countries. Exactly. And he has done and said some crazy things through the years. And there aren't very many people that I can say I actually hate. He's one of them because he has done and said so many horrible things. And when I came up against him almost 2 years ago, I exposed the fact that young men in his church were preying in a sexual way on 13 and 14-year-old girls in his church. And his followers that he banned from church, who were the parents of these daughters, they didn't even know that this was illegal and that they could get Stephen in legal problems until I was talking to a lot of them saying, look, you have to contact the Tempe Police Department. You have to get this investigated. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point if, well, Anderson's supporters hate me as a result, and they've threatened to shave my head. Come to Costa Rica and shave my head. Susanna Anderson has a lot of really positive qualities. We've only had friendly interactions. Prairie, same. I've only had good interactions. I popped over to her lives a couple times, DJ, and she hasn't had me on, but yeah, maybe that might be good because, like I said, I knew her. I knew KJ from way back. Hola. Weren't his own kids involved in shady doings too? Laura, that was the shady doings his own children were involved in. He sent some of his young adult sons out of state to avoid prosecution. And who does that? Who does that? Hey, Karma Kid, who does that? Nobody does that. And yet we have people, her saying that her kids are, her son is KJ now, going to become a serial killer. Thank you, Jadeite Lady. I got these off Zenny Optical. I love them too. They make me happy. They make me smile. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. KJ will find out now with the yeah. Erica, I haven't really looked. I think last night, she's already up this morning, I understand, deleting a lot of stuff that she posted last night in what looks like a state of inebriation. She's already started to take that stuff down. You know, if you wouldn't do those things, there would be no need to constantly have to edit everything you say. And yesterday was Steven Anderson's birthday. He's their son that shares the birthday with his dad. I think he's maybe, yeah. That Anna is living in a storage shed. And the thing is, it's not a storage shed. It may have been a barn or something like that once upon a time. But they have remodeled it. They put in a full kitchen, all that. I'm not going to throw shade at anybody who is, I'm sorry, Belgian, somebody who's trying. And it made sense for Josh to move his family back on the family compound because of everything that had happened. So KJ is talking about that. She's throwing shade at Anna. The Duggars are her go-to. Now, I hate to say I'm responsible for that because I told her when I was at NLQ, when I was at Pathos, I said, the Duggars are how you make your money. And said, the Duggars, I used to say, come on, Josh, reoffend, because every time he reoffended, I would have insane months, insane months, insane amounts of hits and money and all of that. And so that was always my joke, Josh reoffend. But I mean, like with pornography, I didn't mean with kids or with CP, none of that. I just wanted to be caught in another Ashley Madison kind of scandal. Yeah, her barn dough is pretty nice. So telling her that was a mistake because she made the Duggars her personal cash cow. Condominiums are quite popular, like tiny homes and converted vans. It's hardly an insult. I know that, Laura. And I'm all about all kinds of different homes. I've already told my husband, if something happens to him, I'm going to move into the guest house, 900 square feet, and rent this place out. This place is nice. It's huge. We have a swimming pool and a hot tub. But if I'm a widow, I don't want a very big place. I want a tiny home. And I keep looking at the condominiums at 100 Fell Street in Baltimore on the harbor and thinking, I want one. I want one. I want one. I want a little tiny one, but I want one. I want a small place. Oh, Josh will continue to reoffend. Does the federal system have a post-incarceration civil commitment? The states do. And Josh needs to be civilly committed indefinitely. I don't know. I know that his parole stipulations are very strict. He's going to be on parole for 10 years. 10 years. And not only that, if they catch him with any porn whatsoever, it's an automatic go back to jail. Do not pass go. You just downsized for retirement. That's perfect. Laura, I said when I moved here that I wanted a tiny home, and I somehow ended up with this. Bliss, I love Baltimore. It reminds me of New Orleans where I grew up. But I don't know if I lived in, the Fells Point areas where I would be living. And why did she regret? Did she suffer, she or he suffer violence there? Because there's a lot of crime in Baltimore. There really is. I don't know if I agree with him being not allowed to view legal. Everybody needs a safe, healthy adult outlet. The lone wanderer, I don't necessarily agree with that either. You're right. Everybody does need a safe legal outlet. And I wanted to say here we have legalized prostitution. And I don't have a problem with that either, as long as there is no coercion, there is no sex slavery. Everybody is consenting and agreeing. Have at it. A lot of residents in the Kansas program even tell the staff not to let them out ever because they know they will reoffend and they don't want to. The compulsion is too much. Prayer, I think that's where we are with him. I think he has that. Stay in Fells Point. Yeah, well, this place is in Fells Point. That's the only reason I would ever consider moving there. Yeah, it is. It's a savings for Anna, and I don't have a problem with that. That puts her there on the compound, so she's under their security. The gate is up. It works. I've never ever seen her but be positive. It's only a matter of time until people start stalking her at her home. The town's got to know what's going on. Erica, there is somebody that's claiming to be a former friend that lives in the area, said a lot of really crazy things about her. And I don't know how true they are. I kind of hope they are, because she said things like, she said that KJ gave her husband not one, but two sexually transmitted diseases. I can't even imagine that. And she made some claims about Vaughn, the son, and she made some claims about how Todd lost his job that were pretty startling. I could believe when KJ compared the situation with Dre and Vaughn to Josh and Anna Duggar. Yeah, because you want to grab the Duggar fans, the Duggar haters, and oh gosh, Prairie, I must have misunderstood that. I thought it was 10 years. Okay, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look that up. Anna living behind a secure perimeter keeps the kids safe. Exactly. The kids didn't do anything wrong and deserve to be safe. Yes, and they're being punished and traumatized through all this. And that's another thing. KJ and all her claims about the Duggars, she is victimizing everybody up there under 18. She's harming children. I mean, think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. There was legal paperwork, Jan, that had all this and requirements for parole and various things. One of the other ones I found interesting is he could not have marijuana. And I'm confused by that. Was Josh a pothead that we didn't know about before all this happened? I don't know. It seemed like an odd random thing to be put in there, an odd random thing for his legal team to fight against so hard. I don't like talking about her son, but I would love nothing more than to wrap a little boy up in love and expose him to friends his age and fun things. Bliss, I'm the same way. It's like, I would love to, I don't want to talk about her son, but I want the best for him. I want that kid to have experiences. I was thinking about this last night because we were watching one of those shows, those Alaska kind of shows, where one of the families was out there, and he was showing his son, who was roughly Vaughn's age, how to use an axe to split wood. Now, he was doing it in a safe manner, I'll say that. And he was taking his son, he was showing him various survival skills that you would need in Alaska. And that's really what it's all about. We have to pass on skills that we know to the younger generation, or they're going to end up veal in a box. When I spent the time with my son when my daughter was on her honeymoon, one of the things I did is I taught him how to can. And he told me, he said, "Is that how you make jam? That's the easiest thing in the world." It's like, yes, it is. It is the easiest thing in the world. I'm heartless, but when it comes to children, they are my heart. Prairie, same. I read that Todd had an accident in a company car and he tested positive for pot. Number one fan, that's what I heard too. And I don't know how true it is. That's the thing. KJ is just victimizing Vaughn's son and his stepchildren by saying things about their grandparents. Exactly. She's hurting everybody in that family. She thinks it's okay to talk about the kids because they're public figures. Those kids cannot consent to be shown in public. Yes, and I think that there's going to be a terrible price to pay in the future for Jim Bob Duggar when his children all wake up after the hullabaloo is over and they're no longer on TV and they're no longer famous. they're going to wake up and realize how exploited they were. And it's going to be a terrible payday for Jim Bob Duggar. I almost feel sorry for him. The money she's spending on lawsuits, he better save, taking him on trips. Exactly. Or just putting in a playground for him in the backyard. Oh, so there's that. Here we are at an hour, and I'm losing my voice. I got to go to Liberia now and stare in the window at those cars. Oh. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys. Don't, like I said, don't fall for anything that you can't verify. That's why I was reluctant to talk about the details of what the neighbor was alleging, because I can't verify it was a neighbor. If I were Todd P., I would have to stay high all the time and tell my psyche to deal with that too. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes. Have a wonderful day. Love you guys. See you later. Hopefully I'll have a new car tomorrow. I hope, please. Lord, let me have a new car. You should see what I'm rolling around in. You have a great day.